Two goals from Darwin Nunez, a victory for Liverpool, 3-1 against Southampton, moving on since the departure of Ralph Hasenhüttl and Nathan Jones coming in, but it's 3-1 for Jurgen Klopp at Anfield. Luis Miguel Echegaray, LME here, and of course Janusz, Michallik. Janusz, in the end, obviously, they still got a lot to do, Liverpool. They're nowhere near where they want to be in the table, but at least 3 points and something to look ahead to as this World Cup break goes on. Give me your initial reaction from this victory.
It's good to see Liverpool kind of back, right? I mean, we saw shades of the Liverpool at their best in terms of going forward, the type of goals they were scoring, the sort of movement that they score the goals from. That's what I'm usually looking. That's what I've been looking at Liverpool, right? When they've had really a bad start to the season, you have to say part of that was just maybe, the injuries are obvious, but I think as they're getting some players back and some are getting accustomed to the Premier League, you saw that movement, and that's a positive. Those are the shades of just great interplay within the team, good goals and combination play. Defensively, still not sound, though. That is an issue, and that's been an issue, and that's what's gotten Liverpool to a place where they are. Yes, it looks much better. This is, I think, like a 4th straight win for them in all competitions. We all know, or knew at least, that they're going to get on a run, even in the Premier League. I have a feeling, because they're certainly capable of that. But looks good in the table. But when you look at the points difference, it's still far, far away from where they wanted to be ahead of the season. So that's something that they need to fix. Defensively, you and I have been talking about, obviously, in the 76th minute, that Gray Allison save on Shea Adams and that header. Before that, I think it was Samuel Edozie one-on-one with Allison as well. That was a 3-1, could have been 3-2. So they, even though they were bossing the game, you felt that Southampton, who just fired Ralph Hasenhüttl, obviously interim manager, they had a lot of say at Anfield. So not perfect, but I think, maybe Jurgen Klopp is putting the band together. And let's not forget, he was in the stands today and not on the sidelines.
A brace for Darwin Nunez, the Uruguayan, the opening goal. That finish, I want people to look at it over and over again. Much harder than it looks. A very talented Uruguayan who seems to be getting slowly but surely back on a great level here for Liverpool. Thoughts on the Uruguayan as he gets to the World Cup soon?
Well, I hope we stop talking about it, right? Again, sometimes we say these things. I had no doubt he's a goal scorer. That's what he is. I'm not saying that he's just a goal scorer, but he knows how to finish, right? And if he gets in the right spot and you deliver the ball, you'll see what happens. 5 goals in the Premier League. Yeah, probably people are sick and tired of hearing that he's missed 3 games, but I think that's important when you're trying to get used to the league, right? You come into a new environment, new manager with a specific way of playing, a lot of injuries, and then you're trying to find that rhythm, find yourself in the Premier League, and early on, off you go for 3 games. So it just goes to show, had he been there from the beginning until now, I think we wouldn't have even had that conversation. So I don't have any worries about him. I think he'll find a way. As we can see, he can play anywhere. We think of him as a number 9. Well, again, Liverpool came out with 3 number 9s for the most part. Bobby Firmino, excellent as well. I mean, the header and the first goal from that distance. Yes, I think maybe the goalkeeper can do a little bit better, although he probably didn't anticipate a header from that distance. So that's the positive. Going further back in the midfield, I think Harvey Elliott, the 19-year-old, just giving us every game sort of a player that at such young age is running the game. That's the beauty for Liverpool supporters, to think ahead, right? They see it. It's still not consistent. It's difficult to be when you put so much pressure on his shoulder, but he's pulling the strings, and that ball was absolutely tremendous. But defensively, again, Gomez and Van Dijk on that set piece, they didn't hold the line, or at least they thought they did, and they couldn't recover. Konate came back, 2 great games, on knock again, which is something we've talked about. None of those center backs are dependable. Van Dijk is the only one, and even he himself has not been at his best yet, but he'll get there, no doubt in my mind. But Joe Gomez, we obviously knew, had to play out of necessity. Matip forever injured. So is Konate, going all the way back to his Leipzig days. So that is still an issue. But Robertson good on one side, Trent pretty good on the other side. So things are coming back to normal, but slowly. Nevertheless, a big win for Liverpool, obviously.
So it would seem that it could be a good break for Liverpool here, Janusz, that they get a break. Final piece of advice for Jurgen Klopp in this break? What do you think he has to tweak as they restart the Premier League on Boxing Day?
Yeah, defensive ability. Just make sure that the back four is protected. Liverpool likes to play high. That midfield still not functioning, right? As we mentioned, Jordan Henderson, I think for personal reason wasn't there, but he's not getting any better. Thiago Alcantara looked good, but again, I sometimes think of him as, I say to luxury players, I don't like to do it because I have so much respect for his game. But, when things go Liverpool's way, then you see Thiago Alcantara at his best. But when everybody around him has an off game, then I think he's got that responsibility of doing a little bit more. And then, maybe he hides a little bit because, it's not necessarily his game. So that midfield, nothing changes. But as you said, that break, if everybody stays healthy, maybe you recover Diogo Jota by then, I'm sure, right? And Luis Diaz. And think about it. The front three right now playing very, very well. Salah, maybe not his best, but he's been excellent in the last 7, 8, 9 games for Liverpool. And think about Luis Diaz coming in and Diogo Jota. My goodness, there's a lot to deal with when you play against Liverpool, but defensive solidity is key to any team.
Not good for them from a national selection perspective, but good for Liverpool, as obviously Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz injured, but hopefully coming back. Harvey Elliott not selected for England, and neither was Thiago Alcantara. Darwin Nunez off with Uruguay. Mohamed Salah staying as well. So, and Roberto Firmino wasn't selected for Brazil. That's right. So there's a lot of players in this Liverpool side that are not going to the World Cup. So that is only good news for Jurgen Klopp. Very quick here, Janusz. Southampton, they're still in the bottom of the table. Nathan Jones coming in from Luton Town. Is this it? Do you see them dropping now? Do you think Ralph Hasenhüttl did a lot for keeping them up for 4 seasons, or can they stay up?
They've shown quite a bit today. I've mentioned the chances they had. There were times where they played Liverpool even though they were going behind, never gave up. We'll see, obviously, who the manager is going to be. That's going to be a key appointment, a person that this team buys into it. But there is enough, and look at the table, right? And if I didn't look, let's say 11th and 12th down. Look at this: West Ham losing again, Leeds losing again. I think they're amongst 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 teams that are going to be fighting for it. They've showed enough today for me to have hope for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Southampton will have to wait and see how it works out. But Liverpool as well, as they use this break to press the reset button.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.